But now, though, World Team League 2-2 between Team Liquid and PSISTORM. In the bottom right-hand side, our Blue Protoss player, it is PSISTORM's MaxPax. He needs a 2-0 to win this series for PSISTORM, and the same is true for this man. He needs a 2-0 to win it for Team Liquid. Clem in the top left-hand side. If it does go 1-1, an ace match will be played. It's not necessarily going to be between Clem and MaxPax. I'd say it's fairly likely it would be Clem and MaxPax, but maybe players or teams have something up their sleeves that would trend us towards that not being the case. So, something to keep our minds on as we get into this fifth map of this series. Again, up until this point, it was a 1-1 affair between Spirit and Skillus. It was a 1-1 between a Laser and Namshar. That's why it's 2-2 overall. So, a gateway coming up and a simulator coming down. Rax and a gas coming up as well. As we get game number 1 between these two underway. We wait to see who's going to come out on top today. These two really do play. Lately, I feel as though Clem's been putting himself in good positions, but struggling to close the game out. I wonder what their recent results actually are. Let me do a little bit of research here, just because I'm kind of intrigued as to whether... Because in my eyes, I feel like MaxPax has been winning a bit more, but Clem's been very competitive. So Clem won in the most recent ESL Open Cup against MaxPax. MaxPax won the 3 times before that, and all 3 of those were events I watched. The May Open Cup that from WardiTV, the TLMC, and MaxPax in the Kung Fu Cup as well. So that's probably why. And the one that Clem won before that I also didn't cast, and then I did cast the one that MaxPax won before. So basically, I've casted out the last 7 matches, the 5 that MaxPax won, and not the 2 that Clem won. So yeah, it has been 1-2. When MaxPax has won though, Clem has been taking maps, so... As I was saying, competitive, close, but MaxPax favored in my eyes, but Clem absolutely potential to win a series as well. Yo, Milku, thank you so much for the 90-month resub, a huge one. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we do have a pylon up on the top side of the map, a factory command center all coming down here as well as we get ourselves set up. See what that cheeky pylon's going to come into then. Adept on the way up, Corona boosting, just going to be seeing the warp gate coming in. We do have our Adept boy making its way across the map. A couple of Reapers coming through. As our Marines will come after the Adept. So the Adept getting some damage, getting some kills. Just going to go shading forward a little bit, try and see what we can do. Marines come across. Adept's taking some damage. And just having ourselves the Marines coming back over. The Adept's going to shade again. Oracle already on the way up in the Stargate. And the Marines taking quite a lot of shots. They're going to get very far forward now. But, well, the line of sight blocks are making this weird. The Reapers show up. We're going to lose one Reaper if we're not careful. Grenade goes down. Now the Hellion as well. Okay, this was just a weird combo of fights. Obviously, the Oracle's going to show up very quickly with it being proxied. 2 Adepts for 3 Marines and a Reaper. Don't hate it. On either side, really. Stalk shoots up a bit of a storm onto that Hellion. Reaper pulls back as well. And the cancel up at the front while the cancel still coming through. Oracle activates. A couple of SCVs already going down. 2 SCVs looking to make it more than that as Marines come over. The Oracle taking shots. A 3rd SCV goes down as well. Four SCVs go down. 27 dead workers, 27 workers left on the side of Clem. So he's down about 12, definitely decent from MaxPax. Clem doesn't really have anything going on to kind of do further damage with until he gets maybe a bit of a larger push going with, you know, Cyclone Tank Viking. It's plausible to push out with that. I'm not sure if he will. It just feels as though that was not a bad start for MaxPax. Obviously, you do have the Stargate proxied, so that's something of a factor. As a few Stalkers come through, the Blink comes up, and our Nexus goes down. MaxPax on the 3rd base, so I like the position he puts himself in. Maybe it does kind of feel... It feels like Clem needs to do something, though, right? 12 workers behind is a little bit more than usual. I'm just not sure if he's going to find it. Like, it feels as though because Blink's not done, maybe you have a decent chance going across the map and trying to fight, but... I just feel like by the time you get there, it's just not going to be enough that Clem has, so unless the tanks get into some very good positions, Viking will get forward and get some shots on this Oracle just to help shove it away. It's not enough to kill it, but it's going to be hurting a little bit. Max comes over, drops onto the tech lab, factory moves off as well. And you see our Oracle activating and keeping the Hellion at bay. Still seeing that Stimpack combat shield +1. All these coming up from Clem. Marauders and Marines on the way out. Now Stalkers are going to come through and start pushing forward. Marines are going to fight back. Stalkers taking a lot of damage. I'm just going to be seeing now the Stim combat +1. All joining back up as well. You get those upgrades in play, and Clem might still have a bit of a push to talk about, but still, I mean, MaxPax has just been ahead on income this entire time, right? Like, there's been... I actually feel like the income lead should have been even higher for a lot of this, but maybe not. Marauders firing up, Stalker's taking some heavy hits. Stim is about to finish here. This was maybe not the best of Blinkins MaxPax could have found. He took a lot of shots there. And that maybe opens the door to going across the map, right? Stalker's still chilling out, the Oracle as well, and just hanging out over here. Just a little revelation down. Viking still chilling overhead. 7 additional gates coming out. We do see a few probes coming up. Our +1 attack and charge on the way through. Gateways finishing up in the natural as our +1 attack and our concussive shells all continue into play. It's going to be seeing the Marauder and Medivacs. I mean, I still feel like Clem has to do something. Finally, a Widow Mine drop starts to move out. Of course, he still doesn't have a third CC set up. It's just building, but this could be something. A second mine waits a little while. Oh, my goodness, he finally burrows, but just no response at all from MaxPax. 10 probes dead. Well, that's a great start from Clem off the first Widow Mine drop. It's cloaked as well, so he will just leave it there. As he saved one of the mines, and he's got the other 2 mines about to come in over here. He's just going to boost through this one, but the Oracle just got recalled back. But he might be forced to Revelate here. He's actually going to blow up, actually, probably 2 Stalkers. If he wanted it, he could have gone for the Stalker again. I wouldn't have hated it. Stalkers are actually a great pick-off in that regard. This mine's going to recharge. It goes straight on to 4. Oh, my goodness. I think it was actually 3 probes, not 4. The one was from earlier. But, yeah, the damage being done here is just bonkers. Clem definitely didn't feel like the hottest start. Definitely felt like he was slow to get moving. But now, great damage, and he's definitely clawing himself back into this. His third CC should be moving out shortly as well, so he can take that position very soon. Zealot in the corner going to get a little pick off. Just seeing our bio coming out back to the bottom. Marine going after our probe is going to get the kill. Next is still coming up. Bio going to go jump onto the pylon. Probe going down again. Nexus is about to drop. Another pylon going down. As Zealot's just going to get away from that mine. They're not going to commit through. The third base of Clem not super active right now as this fight. I was going to say, I'm not sure. Like, it kind of felt okay for Clem. MaxPax has a ton of money. He's not spending 1.2k minerals. He's got 10 gateways. So, I mean, he will spend that money quickly once he starts warping in. He was just... not sure if he was waiting for a warp in or what the situation was there, but it was taking a little while. Proba Bay still coming through. Our Nexus also coming online. And Evac will go boosting up to the top side of the map. As over here, Clem is, okay, maybe being chased down a little bit, but overall his supply is absolutely booming. He comes in on the other side. I'm not sure how great that really is for him. I mean, the flank is nice in some regards, but if that little portion of the army got really caught, then it could be nasty. Now it turns into the Zealot flank from MaxPax. Fire continues through. It's going to be seen as Zealot still charging forward. Stalker's taking some heavy hits. Going to get a bunch of those. Zealots continue to drop on down here. Continue to chase. Zealots going down, down, down. And Bioforce still chasing in. And Immortal taking some heavy damage. Is going to get jumped on. That's also going to get picked off. I've got a few more force fields coming into play. On the other side, the Oracle gets active, going after a couple SCVs for the moment and just trying to find something extra. I mean, MaxPax still trailing a lot of supply. And from such a booming start, it really felt like Clem, that one Widow Mine drop started to turn everything else around. We got Colossi coming out soon. That actually might make a pretty big difference. Some splash damage here to slow some of the Terran's advances. There it is, though. You got to be super careful. That doesn't just get dove on. The super battery will keep it alive a little while longer, of course. Another Widow Mine shot. A couple of those Zealots going down. Bio still fighting. Sentries continue to drop down as well. We are going to be seeing that's enough for Clem to take Liquid into the lead for the first time this series. They have been behind. It's actually an in-game counter, so we just start straight away. The players were apparently ready. They instantly started worker production. They were ready for the one person that needed to disconnect to disconnect, so. Bottom right-hand side is down in the series. Remember, it is MaxPax, our red Protoss player. And top left, our blue Terran is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. Alrighty, so we got this underway. We have a look to see where we're going to go in this one. Obviously, potentially last map of the day. If Clem wins this, the series is done. If MaxPax wins this, we're tied up. As he comes around, Probe taking some damage. Just going to be seeing our Reaper Command Sentinel coming through, and just going to be seeing the SCV continue to go after that Probe for a moment. Again, Zealot, Cyber, Nexus Core. All of that continuing in for now. So far, so good. Nothing really wild. Just waiting to see where the game is going to take us. Adept just kind of whistling along. Warp Gate coming through. And Nexus is about halfway done for the moment as well. So just bringing all of this out as our factory and our CC are coming up and online. Bunker is continuing to produce here as well. It's going to be having the refinery in the main base. Just going to be finishing up the next couple of moments also. As Zealot will wander forward. Just going to be seeing the Marine here straight away. Going to get jumped on. Zealot will have an SCV to pick off here too. So that SCV goes down. This is some of the early pressure that MaxPax loves to apply. A map like Neo Humanity, get across kind of quickly. You have no ramp into the natural, so this pressure can continue for a while as well. And this is a dance right now. SCV continue to try and build. Clem has to bring his SCVs off of, building multiple times to keep them alive. This Marine will go down. A bit of a shame, because if you have the bunker up, obviously you'd like to keep that Marine alive, because it's extra DPS against the Adept. We load the SCVs into the CC to keep it alive. And now this Adept behind the mineral line is going to take some extra shots. SCVs will help with the damage to guarantee the kill. And we should finish that off. We lost one more Marine, but getting rid of the Adept, I think, is absolutely worth it. Brilliant as this Adept comes through for one more SCV again. Bunker still filled up with that Reaper. Adept wants the SCV, but the Heli and the Reaper will get it. It's actually a great start for Clem. 2 Adepts and the Zealot go down. He lost a little bit, but I wouldn't say that's too bad, all things considered, in terms of the fact MaxPax really invested in these first few units and everything. I think this is a pretty okay defense. All said and done. He wasn't too delayed getting the CC finished and morphing into the orbital either, so I think that's all. Pretty big deal. Uh-oh, Helene gets into the main. Well, if nothing else, it's a good scout. You're going to see the Twilight Council researching, so you're going to be able to notice that this is a little bit of something there, as we will try and go for some probes. And Helene kind of got the Adept blocked on the Twilight for a moment. He wants that probe over there, but he's not going to get the final shot. The Adept was in range, so that will be the end of that one. Medevac goes boosting down to the south, straight down to the bottom we go. A couple extra gates, blink, all of this continuing to produce right now. All of this coming up. As our medevac comes over, wouldn't mind gonna drop off. Few probes have to pull away. Ah! We'd at least saved the wouldn't mind, but not quite in the end. That is gonna go down. A little bit of a shame. As a blink and this prism will be continuing out in the next few moments. Gateway coming up. Just gonna see a few stalkers and the adept continue through the center of the map. Observer still coming through. Still another just kind of bunker coming online as well. It's just getting all of this up and ready to rumble. Oh, Reaper Grenade going to go off, and that Adept going to take quite a lot of damage. We'll move forward with these Marines. Pushing that Adept back. Few Stalkers ready to blink into the main base. In they go. Now Marines will come back over to try and fight against these Stalkers, which are going to run around the back. Obviously, the Prism is a free exit for them. Just don't lose the Raven. Clem's Raven keeps on flying towards these Stalkers. I'm getting a little bit scared for it. I mean, in a way, I'm almost like, is he baiting with the Raven? Is he like, come and get me, and then he's just going to blast him with some tanks and so on? Yay. These Stalkers continue to warp in. We get ready to potentially jump toward this main base. Here we go. When Adept drops down, Stalkers blink up. That tank ain't going to last long. Auto turret goes down. The few Stalkers still getting poked at. Bioforce continuing through as well. One more auto turret to keep things at bay right now. Impact, Combat Shield, a few extra Marines and a Marauder all coming up. Prism gets a few more Stalkers warped in beneath it. Nexus on the front. That third base coming online. We do see a few Stalkers just unloading, going after that Viking already. SCVs continue to take some hits. Just going to be seeing the Prism still pushed away to the side, still pushed away to that corner. SCV still pull across, Marines and a Marauder hanging out. Our Stalkers still taking damage here, and just going to be seeing our Stalkers going to take a little bit more damage again, so getting pushed away to the sides. We do have the charge, the Stalkers, the +1 all coming out, +1 attack, and the Combat Shield coming through too. Stalkers just blink forward over here. They're going to grab a siege tank. Clem having a bit of trouble. He is going to be able to follow up with some Stalker kills losing this tank, though. That's the really nice part of this, as we continue to blink somewhat just kind of interesting blinks, right? Because I feel like those blinks weren't to save you. Those blinks were kind of just like, oh, let's keep on fighting, but then you're somewhat stuck still. Now we blink out down to the low ground. You know, resources lost is favoring MaxPax quite a lot. He's mining a lot more. Yeah, maybe this really is just fine for him. I was kind of feeling as though it's like, well, Clem's maybe going to be able to go across the map and counter. But actually, charge finishing. I think he might have just taken too much damage here in the end. And Neom Humanity might be slipping on over to the side of MaxPax. Stalkers come back across, just still seeing our Nexus in the far right side. +1 attack on both players. That upgrade continues through. Bunker about to finish. Just going to see the Reaper going down. You know, just going to be having the Bioforce continue to push forward here. A couple Stalkers already being chased away immediately. Done a pretty good job of that. And just going to continue to actually go pushing. Stalkers getting hunted and Prism into the main base. Clem feels very committed right now. He is going to have a third CC. But his disadvantage, I mean, same as the last game, right? In the sense of last game, he was kind of behind early. And then the Wooden Mine drop started to turn things around. Similar story here. He's quite far behind. I really would not believe this Widow Mine drop's going to pull him back into it, but it's... okay, not no reaction, but it is a slow reaction as we reburrow one mine. He'll just take the probe. I think he knows that if he unburrows again, he's going to die, so... let's take that one probe kill. He's still got one mine in the medevac as well, and he is now pushing the right side. Looks as though MaxPax is getting his units over here and plenty of time to be able to deal with this. The Colossus just needs to make its way over too, and I think... this should be all okay. The Raven would love to get a Matrix on Mr. Colossus to try and help Clem out. In fact, that might straight up just be an essential move if he wants a chance of winning this. There's the Matrix. At some point, we want to stem forward. Super battery activates. Clem's being a little cautious about it. MaxPax doesn't want to move too far back because obviously if he moves too far back, the super battery becomes easily targetable, and then you don't really have that as a factor. Colossus gets Matrix again, but this time Colossus 2 shows up, and I just don't think Clem can do enough here. The super battery bought MaxPax time. I mean, Clem is just very cautious with his units. He still has the Widow Mine in the back as well, but he's not going to utilize it just yet. I think this one is going to be held off by MaxPax, and that is very good for him because Clem, as we said, was not on the best of starts, and this was maybe one of the timers he did have here, but now MaxPax is going to have splash damage in play, and that's going to be a big factor. It's definitely something else for us to look at as everything joins up together. A couple Colossi still coming through, Cannon in the Forge coming up, plus 1 armor as well. 102 to 74 army supplies at the moment, so Clem actually still has a pretty reasonable army supply. It's just the rate at which MaxPax can reproduce is going to be terrifying, and he's going to have so much splash damage involved now as well. Also going to be a factor. Couple of those probes going down. We do have our Widow Mines Burrowing Zealots. It's going to get blasted by the Widow Mines. 19 dead probes, man. I'm going on a bit of a blasting. This Widow Mine drop going to try and come through as well. Widow Mine City over here. Oh my goodness. Where'd the other mine drop go? Still over here. It's going to be pulled away from, so that's 1 more kill only. But yeah, these mines were pretty huge. Finally, the cannon cleans them up. Okay, well, talk about just resetting the economy a little bit. Clem absolutely showing us that he can get back into this. We'll knock down this set of rocks, opening up this area. Rocks will fall. Army can continue to the upper left-hand side. Medevac's overhead, healing up a little bit. Disruptors coming out. There's a couple of Marines already going down. We do see a Widow Mine getting burrowed up as well. Going to fire up as Zealots killed before the Widow Mine shoots. Clem did a great job kind of evening out some economy. You can see that Raven would love to get into play here as Clem still avoiding Disruptors. Ate a shot there. You can see he wants to come in from all angles, and what he's going to try and do, he drops a Matrix on the back Disruptor. That's the main thing that's going to limit what he can do here. Good EMP, gets a Colossus off of it. A second one takes the shields off that Immortal. Clem is pushing. He's got Vikings to chase the Colossi down too, so there goes Colossus number 2 of this fight. Not bad at all for Clem. Strong fight there. Widow Mine apparently caught some units. The Disruptor stops to clean it up, but then the Disruptor will die because of it. Was that worth a mine? Absolutely not. MaxPax making mistakes. Again, solid openings, but not able to really follow through with it. And Clem, not winning this game, but, well, maybe he is winning now, but he's not won this game. There's still a ways to go. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the tides have definitely turned. So that's over the left side. A couple of Widow Mine shots still going off here. We do see our Ghost chilling around the center. Extra racks coming through. Ghosts are still producing. A lot more Zealots getting started in the front. And we see a Disruptor shot flying, but not really connecting. Clem, of course, does have those EMPs to help him take some of these trades. They're going to be somewhat essential, right? Knock some of the shields off this Protoss army. Goes such a long way. Makes things so much more snipeable. It's a massive Zealots on the left side. The bunker's empty. And Clem will start to lose SCVs in an instant. So he has to pull back to deal with this. He didn't pull back everything. He left portion of his army on the right side, holding the Watchtower. Oh, no, he wasn't holding the Watchtower. So he doesn't actually see this force coming. He eats a Disruptor shot. That's a mistake by Clem. 1 Marine on that tower, and he has the mini-map vision to enable him to make the right move there. Fire comes around. Ghost setting up. The rest of the army coming around the edges. Six probes dropping, couple Disruptor shots carrying straight through. Widow Mine's getting blasted, couple Marines and a Marauder going down. Another mine getting blasted as well. Disruptor fires once more. Go chasing forward, another Disruptor shot, not quite going to connect. Now we're going to come through big EMPs. Of course, this is the kind of back and forth we're seeing is... Oh, Clem walked back into the Disruptor shot. His Vikings were chasing. The Disruptors are the issue right now. This is going to be the part of the game where you just kind of get rid of everything else You know, Protoss-wise, you're just like, cool, Disruptors, DTs, Zealots, Stalkers. Like, this is what this game comes down to. The Disruptors make it so difficult for the Terran to ever take an engagement. The Zealots can run around silly, as can DTs, of course. And you just slowly wear the Terran down over time. Clem losing a whole bunch of SCVs here once again. And MaxPax, by the way, is rich. Like I said, Clem hadn't won this game when I talked about it a little while ago. And this is MaxPax taking his turn to kind of turn it around and absolutely shoehorn his way into perhaps an ace match here. Which, again, very well might just be a Clem MaxPax Game 3. Zealots and Stalkers around the top side. Disruptors from the bottom. Just trying to zone out around the left. I mean, this amount of Disruptors can be so aggressive, especially in this setup on Neo-Humanity, because there's just so many positions where you can't move into if Disruptors are firing. Like, the Disruptor fills up like a third of each pathway. So there's just you're so limited to what you can do. There's not space to split. You're very obvious where you're going to split to. Makes this very difficult as Clem is trying to sustain. If he can get maxed out, the opportunity to take a good fight and to whittle down some of that bank of MaxPax is going to be there. That's just going to... I mean, that's what he's playing for, essentially, right now. I love the Liberators, because I tell you what, there's not a lot of Stalkers. There's not a lot of anti-air, or Libs. Might be the one thing we don't have a great answer to at the moment. You can see MaxPax is very afraid of the possible flank here. EMP should be able to come down those ghosts. I thought we're just going to commit right there. This time they probably will. EMP those Disruptors, so they are more easily targetable, has to be one of the priorities. Still kind of back. Some new Colossi showing up. Clem doesn't really have a way to deal with Colossi right now, apart from just overwhelming them. He's got like 1 or 2 Vikings. He's been focused on Lib production. He does get to move forward. MaxPax used a lot of his Disruptor shots already. Clem is still staying back away from the Super Battery. He is not healing the Colossus just yet. Will be enough now for Clem to turn back and buy himself a few more moments. MaxPax still rich. 3k, 1k in the bank right here. Fire moves around. Still going to be seeing a couple Colossi coming forward. Ghost taking some damage. Disruptor shots come through. Liberator can some hits off as well. It's going to be seen now. +3 armor going to come through. And you see the 3-3 still coming up. Shadow Strike coming in. Extra Dark Templar continuing around on the right side. Clem has got himself a little bit of a Liberator play. He took a few Stalker shots on the way across. Going to siege up here, but there's no gases, so not in range of anything immediately. The problem 100% stands in that Clem just doesn't have a way to rebuild an army. Like, his money is drained. Now, he's maxed, so you'll start to build a bank. But MaxPax already has so much of a bank. Liberators here and there, though, are picking away at some of those probes, and they are causing distractions. Clem needs to start getting himself missile turrets up as well, as, man, it feels like MaxPax has so much of the map. DT is just blinking over here. Yeah, this is a scan. We'll get a couple Widowmine shots for a couple DTs, but this base just melts. Like I say, Clem only just realized those DTs a moment ago when he started building the turret on the right side. So he was not ready with the turret on this left side. Not that it would have made much difference here. If we can catch some DTs, though, at least then it is an expensive trade for MaxPax, and that's kind of what you got to hope for right now as Clem, to make this expensive, if nothing else. We'll finally get this Liberator siege with enough Stalkers, I think, to take that down if they get far enough forward. Clem is dancing with these Disruptors. They are on the edge of getting a massive shot, so Clem is playing at the very limits of what his army can do. As he does finally get rid of one Colossus, feels like he was aiming for that for a while. Can this Liberator choke up this area? Again, very choky kind of map when it comes to kind of defending these locations. So stuff like Libs, Disruptors, they're so effective offensively and defensively. And that's why, again, we saw Clem having trouble before. Might be why MaxPax has trouble now. These extra Libs coming up are actually starting to make a big difference. The Stalkers are melting, and I don't think we can push forward any longer. And Clem decides he's just lost too much. Though he's got DTs on the left side wiping out his base, I think is the main reason why MaxPax is allowed to take this game. And let's kick this off. Clem, MaxPax, game number 7. Obviously, game 7 of this overall series. They did play 1-1 against each other in the last couple maps. Let's see how this one wraps up, as we have in the bottom right-hand corner the blue Protoss player from PSISTORM Gaming. Make some Protoss noises if you're cheering on MaxPax. And make some Terran noises if you are cheering on Clem. Suddenly the chat bursts into tears and crying and whining. Sorry guys, I had to do it. Had to meme on the Terran players a little bit, you know? Had to meme on the Terran just a little bit. Teeny tiny bit, you know? Alrighty, this is it, guys. Final map of the day. Both matches today go into the ace. It's been a while since we've had a... Well, it's been a while since I casted World Team League properly anyways, but it's not every day both matches get to an ace match, and they've been pretty good games on the way here as well. When was the last time both matches on a day went to an ace? No, 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 no. Did it ever happen this season? No, no, no. No, no, no. First time this season, both matches have gone to an ace match. Wow. Well, there you go. First time this season. It has happened before, but yeah, first time this season. When did it last happen? Now I'm genuinely curious as the CC goes down when the last time this happened was in World Team League. Wow, how far back do I have to go? Okay, the last time both matches in a day of World Team League were an ace was round 5 of the previous season of WTL. So it's been about, 13 weeks of actual, like, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus, well, this is round 7 or something. So, like, yeah, 13 rounds of action since it happened last. Last time SSLT went 4-3 against GGG. And Shopify Rebellion 4-3 against Team Liquid, October 28th, 2022. Yeah. That really is a bit of a throwback, isn't it? One of those Beyond Clem Ace Match classics in the Shopify Rebellion Team Liquid rivalry that has emerged in WTL. I actually had to really I was really curious about that, man. Like, it's definitely happened before. Funnily enough, it happened the week before that as well in WTL with Onside Kaisi and TL Team GP. So it's not like it's super uncommon for it to happen, but obviously it's not super rare. It happened 3 times total last season. Very fun. Alright, bunker coming up. Twilight Council building. Starport in the middle of the map getting going as well. So all of this just coming through. Adept tries to trade up to the high ground. Is not going to really be able to get there. Marines and a Hellion coming forward. Adept already taking quite a bit of damage. And just going to be seeing the blink choice from MaxPax as he used that wonderfully to get an advantage in game number 2 against Clem, of course. Robotics facility follows up pretty quickly as well. It's definitely that option to be kind of aggressive here with the blink and the higher gateway count. We'll see exactly what we're going to do. So about halfway down the blink, couple stalkers still coming up, gateways, robo facility, all the good stuff being brought in for the moment. Do you have our new Hellions are going to move down the bottom right, and Clem loves a good cheeky little Hellion drop, and oh, this probe going to give you the heads up. That's nice. Stalkers get to move into position a little sooner now. I mean, they're a few steps towards the main where beforehand they would not have been. How many kills can we get? Oh, we lose the Hellion before we shoot again. That's a massive shame because obviously the Hellions can one-shot with 3 Hellions. With 2, it's very difficult to get damage done through a battery. You do kill 3 workers in the end. Very manageable amount of damage that MaxPax takes here early. As he powers up into the full 4 gateways, this Hellion drop is not something that really helps you defend at home, right? So for MaxPax to clean this up quickly and effectively, puts him in a really good position on the follow-up. Let's see how he does it. Obviously, the starport's still out on the map. It's just about to get home now. That's not been helping throughout. Stalkers continue all the way up to the top left. Marauder coming through, Stim Pack, Siege Tank, continuing to produce for the moment. You have a second bunker on the low ground just to tell you how seriously Clem's taken this. Young Grezvan, there's a lot of space in the main, so Clem's quite far back in his main base defensively. Nothing wrong with that. The Stalkers initially do just kind of walk forward and then blink back. Trying to keep themselves safe, trying to keep themselves as active as possible right now. Stalker's just going to blink forward, going to go straight after that bunker. Able to go down very quickly. Now the Hellion drops as well. Supply Depot still taking some heavy hits. Bioforce still trying to stand here and fight. And we do see the Stalkers of MaxPax trying to come back through. A few Stalkers going to move into this natural. A few of them over on that right side. 4 more Stalkers continuing to produce. And our Stalkers going to get rid of a Hellion there. Marauder and Marines going to get to the corner. Stalkers will be pushed away. As we jump into the main base, first tank is going to go down. Second tank behind is going to get some shots as well. Starport lifts off, moves back. Combat shield probably gets cancelled, but it's pretty early on in combat shield's build time, so it's not the biggest of losses. And we're still keeping Stim alive. We know that that's an important part of this, as these Stalkers will control the main. They might look to get back down to the low ground. We actually still have a few Stalkers here that are trying to cause trouble as well, so they are making this, or trying to keep this a little bit nasty, as we are going to get onto this bunker. So now everything turns its attention to the natural. This is going to start being some heavy damage. Stim is not far away. SCVs pull in. I think we Stim here, right? A lot of these Stalkers have already blinked. He's not going to go just yet. I was wondering if that was the moment, just because we'd already blinked a lot, so micro potential was low. But he waited, and then he kind of stemmed forward. 6 SCVs lost, 44 workers each in the game right now. MaxPax finally, his third base well underway, and is going to be up soon, but it's obviously taking a little while to get set up there. As Stalkers will now begin to blink into the main. Vector will go down. Tank doesn't quite get the kills just yet. Seeing our Stalkers still poking around, prodding around, seeing what they can do. Combat shield and concussive shells all coming up. The +1 still coming in as well. So again, a lot of this being brought into play as our Stalkers drop back into the main base. And forwards we go into the main as our tank shots. Pretty good there to quickly push those Stalkers back yet again. IO keeps on coming over. He's going to be seeing these few Stalkers continuing around as well. As our Nexus coming through, it's going to see a few Zealots coming up as you have Bioforce. It's going to come stemming now. First Stalker goes down. Rose just come across. Just going to be seeing those Stalkers getting picked away out. We do have ourselves the Man Center coming up. +1 attack, combat shields, all being brought out also. Charge and +1 coming through on the side of MaxPax. That Bioforce going to come across. Stalker still taking some damage for the moment. MaxPax sitting at a maxed out 117 supply. I say maxed out, I mean supply blocked 117 supply. Well, he has a pylon or so finishing, so it's not the biggest of deals. Straight to a 4th base as well. So obviously late 3rd, but does not delay going to the 4th. Once that 3rd is up and running, he wastes no further time. There's a couple of Zealots here already taking some shots. Prism loading back up and going to reposition Zealots back into the main mineral line there now. I see a few Zealots continuing out. +1 attack. The Storm all coming through. This army of Clem continues out to the center. Again, just getting our Storm coming up. Our Nexus is being brought in. We are going to be seeing our Bioforce is going to come running straight forward. First Stalkers already beginning to go down. This Bio army continues to chase a little bit. Clem feeling confident here. Obviously no Storm just yet, so this army of MaxPax is not kind of fully set up to what he's invested. This is definitely a weak point for him, and especially if Clem can get some good tank spots, this could be a really cool way to begin. Rose up at the front, couple SCVs going down, Zealots taking damage. Storm about to finish, the extra Zealots are coming through, our Bio army is going to start fighting, the Zealots want to come in from the other side. Not going to get the chance just yet as our pylon will drop. Zealots around the backside, a couple of Widow Mines will burrow up. They're going to be able to deal with this pretty well, so I'd say Clem's doing a pretty good job. His position is great here. Storm might change everything, though. The Prism's trying to get super far forward. I think Clem knew. He was so ready to split. The Widow Mine finishes the Prism off as it re-lifted the High Templar, and that means that they are not going to be recycled even into an Archon. I think originally he might have thought, get them out of here, get some energy back, but no, not even an Archon to be made from those guys. Zealots will try and counterattack, but MaxPax is in serious trouble. He's got a Liberator showing up on his front doorstep too. Even more zone control in this base is broken down, and I don't think Clem's going to stop. You will see the Zealot flank coming in from the side. This was not actually a counterattack. This was a straight up come in and wrap around this army. Widow Mines are putting good damage onto these Zealots at first. If they continue, these Zealots are not going to have much life left on them. Another Lib showing up, and a lot of Zealots being cleaned out. Clem up 30 army supply. Finishing off the last few pylons over here, and with these Liberators is apparently not afraid to keep on pushing through, keep on taking positions. Archon goes down, the Zealots continue to get dropped. This is just going to be the Bioforce continuing to fight. A Sentry goes down, the Immortal gets picked. The rest of these Zealots still trying to come on forwards. Liberators, if they can siege up this area on the natural, obviously that's going to limit what units can run through easily. Clem's having a nightmare trying to get the other Liberator sieged. Finally gets it set up. I actually think I would have preferred it to be a bit more kind of to the right-hand side. But he obviously wants to zone out these units that are up on the top, these few Stalkers and so on. Reinforcements are showing up. There's even a Ghost in case you want a nice little EMP, soften up some of these units. He's going to drop it onto the Pylon and the Stalkers. The Pylon dies. That's going to be no Prism. Not sure how big of a deal that really turns out to be. Prism does pop. Obviously, Prism just means a little bit more micro potential on the High Templar and the, just other units in general. Now the Storms dropping down, coming through, actually landing right across that force. I don't think there's enough, though. Clem has got it. He has done it. He is going to win this series. For Team Liquid, it's another ace match for them, but they will improve to 7-1. It's the best run Liquid have ever had in WTL, and it will continue. Yes, they've got some tough matches coming up, but they are poised very nicely to make playoffs. Congrats to Liquid winning out in the ace match.